Friday, right? Friday morning. I make my way to the urologist. It's an old ass building. It's like a dilapidated building. Wow, 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 wow. I don't know if you guys saw the picture I posted on Instagram, but the office straight up looked like this. It was an empty room with like one of the chairs that you see at the gynecologist that they use to like put your nether region at like chest height, which we didn't even use. And then there was just like a random stool here, which I was sitting on waiting for the doctor. And then there was like a counter here. And then the rest was just empty. Like it was like a prison. There was like 5 feet of blank space on each side. And then there's like a wall here with like one small window. Like it looked like a prison. And then there was just this whole wall. This wall is probably like 15 feet. Probably more than that. One poster in the middle of it just says prostate in big bold letters. Just prostate. Dude, sometimes I feel like, you know when you go to like this might be kind of niche. If you ever stayed at like an Airbnb where like you can tell they didn't put any effort into decorating, like they straight up just like opened Instacart and said, hey, buy me stuff for a house. And then they just like placed like 8 miscellaneous decorations randomly that aren't cohesive at all. Whose cat was that? In-laws. That's how it felt. Like there was like one just poster that was like yellowed from time. Like the lamination was like, it was like peeling off and it just said prostate on it. And that's how I knew I was in for a treat. But the doctor was actually really cool. He was nice. He actually chopped it up with me for a bit. But anyway, so the nurse or nursing assistant, whatever, takes me in, calls my name. Naturally, I say, that's my name, don't wear it out. And then I walk back with him and then takes like my whatever vitals. And then he gives me guys, I just mere words and pictures won't do this justice, actually. I think I need to put you guys in some sort of like full goggle mask head device and like transport you to like my reality so you can relive what happened. The nurse hands me a cup that's I don't even know how to explain it. It's like it's like a cup from a picnic. It's like a plastic cup like this. And I'm gonna actually draw it with some decent detail because it's important. So it's like a translucent cup, right? Kind of looks like this. And it's one of those ones that, oh, I made it too wide right here. It has those like ribs on it. You know what I mean? It's like a one you'd get like at a picnic or like at a baseball game. Like they'd fill it with Gatorade. Like it's like a cup that you would hand out to like runners during a marathon. Yeah, it's like you'd hand it to the runners on a marathon and then they drink it really fast. So anyway, it's like ribbed here. It's plastic. The whole thing's made out of plastic, right? And he hands me this cup and I'm like, oh, there's no water in it. That's weird. And then I see him write my name in Sharpie, but because the whole cup is ribbed, my name ends up looking like I'm writing whiskey here. Not my real name, but you can imagine writing on the ribbed surface is like not that hard. So you can barely make out my name on the cup. And that's all it says. Now, I'm now realizing that this is the cup that is supposed to be used for piss. And I'm like, huh, interesting. There's no lid and it just looks like it's for a picnic. And every time, I don't know, maybe I'm like spoiled, but every time I've ever given a sample of anything, and I've probably had it done at least like 24 times, it's been in a yellow, an orange, like a bright orange, like a prescription bottle thing with like a child safety plastic lock on it and with like a barcode that they print out and they hand to me and they say, make sure your name and date of birth is okay. You know what I mean? It's like usually like, you know, so I'm like already like, huh, okay, kind of weird. So he was like, yeah, we need a urine sample. Obviously I'm at the urologist for my kidney stones. And he shows me the bathroom that's like in the office, and I go in there and I come out. I'm like, I don't think I can go right now because I just went before I went. I drove to my appointment, which I didn't think about. I would have held it if I knew. So I tell him, oh, I can't do it right now. And he's like, okay, that's fine. So I do the whole appointment. This is like an hour and a half later. And at the end of talking to the doctor, he's like, oh yeah, if we can get that urine sample today, that'd be great. And I was like, yeah, I could probably go, because they wanted me to run next door and do an x-ray and shit. So I could buy myself time to like build up the pee in my body, because I had asked for it. Like they offered me water and stuff, so I was drinking water. And so I go do the whole thing with the x-rays. Actually, I wasn't able to do it because it was busy. I have to go at some point tomorrow. And then I come back. Before I had left, by the way, I need to mention, I asked the doctor, I was like, oh, can I still give you the sample? He said, yeah, just give it to the receptionist. So already I'm like, okay, it's kind of awkward for me, because like the receptionist is just like I don't know, it's just like some chick who's like probably like 22, 23 years old. And I already feel weird just like having this pee not be like an official, like secure, like biohazard, whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, that's kind of whatever, but I can do it. But once I'm out of the office, this is like in the lobby, I'm in like the hallway of like the medical building, and the receptionist, I asked her, I was like, oh, where can I use the bathroom? The doctor said to give you the sample. She's like, oh, there's one in the hallway, whatever. So I go do my x-ray shit, I come back, and I'm like, okay, now I think I can pee. So I go to the bathroom in the hallway, and I start separating the art from the artist. I fill the cup with pee. And so at this point, how can I even draw this? I don't know why I'm like trying to like get the right balance of like yellow and like white and opacity here. But the point is, I fill the cup, like it's pretty small. You know what I mean? And I know they don't need that much, but I fill the cup like at least halfway. And so I'm like, okay, I'm done. So I leave the hallway, and there's like an open lobby of like the office, like for other patients. And there's like a couple, like there's like a woman and there's like another guy like in the lobby, like one of them standing, one of them sitting. So I already feel weird that I'm like walking into the office like with a cup of pee. And keep in mind, I like, in case you forgot, the entire like lid of the piss receptacle is like, this is just open. You know what I mean? Like if the guy sitting in the lobby wanted to, he could throw a ping pong ball and like maybe like, you know what I mean? He could probably like, he start playing beer pong. This shit's like just open. So I already feel kind of like awkward. I'm like, this is like weird. Like I never had like a sample like this. And I felt kind of awkward like giving the pee to the receptionist, because she was like, I mean, she was like professional, but I could tell she was like, I don't know, maybe she was like new, maybe she was just young. I don't know. It was just like awkward. And so I'm like carrying my pee into the lobby, like with, like, I'm gonna try and show you like the grip I had, like this. If this was the cup of pee, this is just like a thing of toothpicks, but I was just holding it like this, because I don't know, I was kind of like trying to like pseudo cover it a little bit. So it's covered like this. And then I walk up to her and I'm like, hey, where would you like me to put the sample? And then she's like, oh, that's perfect. Just put it right. And she's like starting to like, I have to draw this. There's no other way for me to explain this. Hold on. Like I said, like the only way I could do this justice is if you were in my brain and we went back in time together. I almost wish I didn't tell you the end of the story, because the shock factor would be so much more. So there's like this small window right here, right? And this is like, imagine there's like depth here. This is like, and then she's like here, right? And it kind of like, there's actually like a wider part here. So this actually this should be kind of opened up. But there's like a counter, and it's a pretty sizable counter. So I go up to her and I'm like, hey, where'd I put the sample? And she's like, oh, perfect. You can put it. And then she starts like looking around like for like space to put it. And she like moves something out of the way, like right here to like the side of her. And she's clearly like not confident in receiving the pee. Do you know what I mean? But the way they were talking about it was very confident. The doctor's like, yeah, give it to receptionist. Receptionist's like, oh, you could bring it back here. Yeah. But once it got time to like, do you know what I mean? Like everything works in theory. In practice, different ballgame, right? So now we're gonna actually see, you know, we're gonna test their metal. We're gonna see if you know the bite is as big as the bark. So after 2 seconds, I can already tell this you haven't received pee like this before, which is insane because already I'm asking questions about the entire process of me giving them my pee. So she's like kind of like looking around, like trying to find space for this. It's not like there was a bunch of like papers and shit in the way. It was just like, I think she just wanted me to feel comfortable because she probably felt like that I was feeling awkward about it, which I was, but I wasn't like showing that. And so I'm like placing the pee like to the side, like not, I don't want to like give it to her because as far as I'm concerned, I'm holding a bioweapon, right? And she's not wearing gloves. So one sec, my dad is calling me. Hello? Yeah, it was nothing. I was just wondering something, but it's okay. Okay, Joe. Should have told my dad the story. So I don't want to like get. He's calling me back. Hello? Da. I could look for it if you want. Okay, Joe. Okay, I'll figure it out. Ciao. Da. It means yes in Bulgarian. So like I said, I'm trying to like not give her the pee directly because as far as I'm concerned, it's a biohazard, which it is. So like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. Also, this, I feel like is an important detail. They gave me the plastic ribbed, remember this wonderful drawing? They gave me this plastic ribbed cup. Let's take the pee out of it. They gave me this plastic ribbed cup in the very beginning of the appointment. I've now had this cup just like in my hand for an hour and a half. I'm just like holding it. Like I'm babysitting it. It's like when you take home like the egg at science class in middle school and like you have to bring it back like uncracked. I don't know if you guys did that. Maybe my school's deranged. So anyway, it's this like open container. So like I'm bringing it with me outside. And as far as I'm concerned, a bunch of like miscellaneous detritus and microscopic bacteria is in here like that I can't see that's going to like compromise the integrity of the lab results, right? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But I'm like bringing this cup with me everywhere. So there's got to be shit in it by now. So I don't understand why they like had me carry this around or why it was uncovered. Anyway, I try to put the cup to the side. And as I try to put it to the side of her, so she's like here, I try to put it like here. So it's like out of her way. So like maybe the doctor wants to grab it. I don't know how the fuck they do things here. So as I'm putting it down, she now is like reaching for it, even though I'm clearly not giving it to her. And in my head, I'm thinking, damn, didn't know you were thirsty. I'm just kidding. I made that up. But I'm like, oh, okay, she is going to take it. Because never in a million years would I have handed her the cup. You know what I mean? Because I'm not insane. And the only reason I even did this is because they told me to. So now I'm about to put it down and she reaches for it. And I'm sure you can imagine what happens next because you know the end of the story. The cup loses its balance and the piss goes literally everywhere. I'm talking down the count. This is like I'm standing here, right? So there's like a counter. So that's me. So now the piss is like across the desk. It's like spilling down the side. I mean, we've all had like spills in the kitchen, so you can imagine what this is like. Keep in mind, the whole time this is happening, there's 2 patients behind me, like witnessing like the absolute horror. And I know, I fuck you not, dude. Time stopped for half a second and I was like, there's no absolute snowballs chance in hell that this just happened. And I immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, oh my God, like I'm just like apologizing. And she's like so nice about it. She's like, oh no, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. And then she like gets up, and I mean, I picked the cup up because it's like actively spilling pee, and there's like a little bit of pee left. So I put the pee cup like here, and she gets up and she takes the pee cup, which by the way is insane because there's pee on the out. Like at this point, this cup, like because it's spilled, there's like pee drops on the outside because it was just like tilted over. You know what I mean? When you spill a glass, the glass has like some of the liquid on it, on the outside, on the rim. So already I'm sitting there like my jaw's on the floor. Like I can't believe she just grabbed like the raw piss cup, and she brings it back, and like I'm thinking she's going to get like cleaning supplies or something, whatever. And there's just like pee like flowing in front of me. And she comes back rather quickly, and she gives me paper towels. And I need to specify, and maybe if you're from California or like some environmentally or tries to be environmentally friendly state, you know what I'm talking about. The paper towels are like the recyclable ones that are brown, and all you need to know is that they do not absorb nearly as well as normal paper towels. So she comes up and she starts like trying to wipe it, and I say, oh no, please let me do it, because I'm mortified at this point, because I don't want her to like, this is like insane. Like I still can't believe this is even happening. So like I take the paper towels and I was like, please, I'll do it. Like, don't worry, like, please, I got it. And I start like cleaning the pee, and now I'm realizing that these paper towels are the type of paper towels that they are. So instead now of like the pee getting absorbed, I'm now just moving the pee from one side of the desk to the other. Like I'm playing fucking like air hockey at Dave and Buster's, because the fucking paper towels don't absorb for shit. So obviously some of the piss is getting absorbed into the paper towel, but like I'm just moving the pee back and forth because these paper towels fucking suck. So thankfully there's like a lot of paper towels, so I use like a shit ton of them, and like I get most of like, there's no more like visible liquid pee. Obviously there's like piss ingrained in the desk now, and it's like there's like, you need to like use like soap or like disinfectant or like, you know, actual cleaning shit to get it out. So, but I wiped up the pee as best I could. I'm now holding like sopping paper towels with pee. Keep in mind, there's a woman standing 4 feet behind me waiting to talk to the receptionist, and is just completely unbothered. And I'm just like, and I, in my head, I'm thinking there's no way she just must have not seen what I spilled. She must think it's water, because she's just like, she's sitting there like someone spills a cup of piss in front of her every single day of the week. So anyway, I'm now holding these like piss soaked paper towels. Receptionist is God knows where with my sample. And there's a small trash can on the other side of the lobby. So I'm now like taking these like piss soaked paper towels and I put them in the trash can because I have nowhere else to put them. And even then I'm thinking, this is like a biohazard. There's like open, active, like there's piss like evaporating into the air, right? So I have no other option. Like I have nowhere else to put this shit. So while the receptionist is gone, I'm waiting there. It's probably at least 5 minutes. And this is just this like wet piss receptionist. Oh, by the way, there's like the carpet there's like a puddle on the, not a puddle, but like a wet spot on the carpet. There's like piss droplets like making their way down. You know, like when you're driving in the car when you're little and it's raining and you follow the droplet all the way down the window. Like I'm watching like the piss like slowly make its way down the counter in places I didn't know where it was, because I was focused on like the, you know, the mother load of the pee up here. So and there's like piss like making its way down. So I'm like wiping the counter, but of course the building is like decorated in such a way where it's like the counter's like textured. So there's like this like smooth part, and then there's like this like ribbed wooden like decorative part. So like the piss is getting into all sorts of like intricate cracks and shit. So I'm taking like my nail and like running with the paper towel over my nail, trying to like get like the fine details of the decorative part of the counter to get the pee out. And like this whole time I'm just like, this is like insane. I'm mortified. And she's gone. I'm here for like 5 minutes by myself with the piss witness behind me. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is like, is she going to bring me cleaning supplies? Like, what's going on? She didn't say anything. So after a few minutes, I go outside into the hallway, because I remember there's the bathroom in there. So I take a bunch of paper towels from that bathroom. Those paper towels are way better. And I like wet the paper towels, and I try and make some like, you know, like homemade cleaning wipe with like the soap and the water there, and then I cleaned it up more as like best I could. And then she just like comes back, and I ask, "Oh, is there enough left in the cup like for a sample?" Because my other worry here is they need my sample, and I cannot go pee again, and we just spilled like 2 servings of it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, it'll be fine. It's like more than enough." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I asked her, I was like, "Oh, can I clean this up?" And she's like, "Oh, no, it's fine." And then she just starts helping the next person in line. And I'm sitting there like stunlocked. I'm like, I actually cannot believe, like, does the person behind me not know that there's like, this is like ground zero over here? Like, obviously there's no visible pee, but there's like pee. Like if you're like a dust mite, I'm sure you wouldn't be able to walk across this like without getting your feet wet. Nothing. Not even a Clorox wipe or anything. So I just like wiped it up like as best I could with like paper towels and like bathroom soap and water. And so I just like I'm walking out and I'm like, I can't actually believe what happened. And then I'm walking out, I'm thinking I can never show my face here again. And then I realized I had to come back at least like 2 more times. So that's pretty much the whole story. But I have a lot of thoughts about it too. Hey, Freshwater Fern, hello. It's so good to see you. Oh, Small PP Gang, let's go. You also use the tag? I'm telling a story right now of how I pissed. I spilled. I didn't piss. I spilled. And honestly, I would go as far as to argue that someone else did 70% of the spilling. A cup of piss all over to the receptionist desk at the urologist. Anyway, it's so good to see you. Dude, I always advertise it. You know what I mean? So I'm like leaving the office. Anyway, that's the story. So I'll let you sit with that for a second. But I go through all the stages of grief on like my like drive home. At first, I'm like mortified. I can't believe that happened. And then then I start getting like, denial that didn't actually happen. And then I start getting like angry. Like, not really, but I'm like, let's go through the steps here. First of all, why the fuck is the piss cup just an open Dixie cup? Like, you could probably go to fucking Amazon right now and buy a 5,000 count of like medical grade body fluid lab receptacles. Why the fuck are we using like plastic Dixie cups? So I'm like, that's weird. And then I start thinking, it can't be like professional or like sterile to just hand like an open piss container to like a receptionist who's then gonna what? Give it to the doctor who's then gonna what? Like, how do they even get that into like a lab? I'm so many questions, man. What is this link? 3 recipes. Does the best lemonade come from? Okay. Dude, honestly, it might not be a legitimate doctor. It is though. But I just, maybe it was a set, dude. Maybe it was a set, and there's actually just Tim Robinson in the back producing it, and I'm on a TV show. I don't know what to tell you. The Yelp reviews are actually pretty bad, but the Google reviews are pretty good. Honestly, I wouldn't have even minded handing the pee to the receptionist if it was like a covered container. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but I have to show you because I'm just going to Google pee sample container. So I Googled pee sample container. Can you please notice how none of these are just open cups that you would drink out of? They all have lids. Some of them are even taped shut. I could drop kick this thing and no pee would come out. So this is, I wouldn't mind. It would be a little like awkward. Like I said, it was like awkward and embarrassing. I'm just like walking into the lobby with my open cup of pee. I already thought it was weird. But obviously if it was covered, like there wouldn't be pee everywhere. How clear or yellow was the pee? I don't know. It wasn't too much on either side of the spectrum. Your average pee. Anyway, I mean, that's pretty much the story. It's got to be one of the most insane things that's ever happened to me. No, this wasn't Quest. This was at the doctor. This was at the doctor's office. I'm thinking about the smell. It actually didn't smell that bad. It really didn't smell like anything at all. But I'd like to think, like, I'm coping by imagining that once I left and like once they had like a lunch break or something, that they cleaned it with like cleaning supplies. The carpet might smell like pee now. Yeah. I mean, there was most of the pee was on the desk. Thankfully, it didn't like get on any of like the papers and stuff that were back there. And like, God forbid it got on her. Oh my God, if it got on her, I would have freaked the fuck out. Maybe they were going to put it in a pee locker. I don't know. The next person absolutely had to sign something, but probably she gave, because I had to sign something too, but they gave me a clipboard. I signed it sitting down on the chair. She touched the cup. Yeah, she touched the cup, but like she wanted the cup. Like I was shocked. She grabbed it. She had grabbed it and she was like, oh, no, it's fine. She was a really good sport about it. Which was nice. Like, I think maybe she was just trying to spare my embarrassment, but I couldn't believe how much of a good sport she was. I was like, this is like unprofessionally good sport. Like, this is strange. She touched it without gloves, dude. Yeah, no, she was just gonna, she was reaching for it. The reason it spilled is because she reached for it while I was trying to put it down. They stopped being phased, but like a receptionist is like touching pee all the time. She grabbed the cup and like took it to the doctor. Obviously she washed her hands, yeah, but that's crazy. I don't know. Maybe she has kids. She was pretty young. I mean, maybe she could have. I don't want to make assumptions, but they collect the samples. That's always who I've given it to. Really? Hold on, Caitlin. You might have some valuable insight here. I've rarely given a pee sample to a doctor or nurse directly. Most of the time, you go to the bathroom and there's like a cabinet or like a tray thing where it says samples here, and then someone on the other side grabs it. A Dropbox, yeah. 90% of the time, that's what I've done. Maybe 80. Other times I give it to a nurse or a doctor. Never once in my life have I given it to a receptionist. Like, this is just like some administrative assistant that's like probably still in college, like making minimum wage, and they're handling open cups of pee. She better be getting a bag. How are the other people unbothered? I honestly think that the people behind me couldn't tell that it was pee. I think they maybe thought I spilled water or something. That's the only explanation I have. I don't know. It's not like they were standing right behind me, but they were like in the room. And also, like, if I was in that lobby and I saw that happen, never in a million years would I assume that someone is bringing piss to the receptionist. Yeah, that poor man spilled his lemonade. We drop off home samples to reception, but they're sealed though. At the very least, they're sealed, right? Like, they're not open containers. Allie, I was beating myself up, dude. I was beating myself up. I was like, if I just went pee inside, then none of this would happen. But at the same time, inside, the nurse inside who was like, hey, here's a cup like for your pee, he said, yeah, just like go pee and bring it out. So he also would have just grabbed it. So maybe it could have been an even worse spill inside. I don't know. I was pretty embarrassed. I'd be surprised if my face didn't turn beet red. But I was just like apologized because I felt bad for her. I was like, oh my God, this is like insane. Because like, well, I don't know. What if she could have like screamed and ran away and been like, ew, gross, and she would have been valid. I don't know. Maybe she's like a germaphobe. She was a trooper. I don't know. But that's pretty much the story. And then I sat in my car and I was just stun locked. I sat in my car just like in silence for like 5 minutes. I feel physically sick now. You're welcome. Yeah, no, Steph, I was thinking about that. Like, there was someone in there who was like walking with like a walker. Like, how is this man gonna get his pee and like lift it up? You should have rubbed your nose in it. I mean, I cleaned it up. I spent like a while cleaning it up as best I could. The guys, when I tell you, like, when she handed me these like recyclable paper towels that were just like shoving the pee from one side to the other, I was like, this is a fucking joke. Like, this is crazy. Cass, really? Any places hiring near you? Just wondering, asking for a friend. Anyway, I hope that hope that story was satisfying to your expectations and curiosity. How have you not fled the country? Because it's not that big of a deal, and it's just a funny story now. I'm probably gonna make a joke about it next time. You think next time I go in, I'm not gonna look at the receptionist and be like, "I won't pee on you this time, I promise." Maybe I won't word it in such a insane way, but I'll make a joke about it.